Hi everyone, I'm so glad you got a chance to watch Dhanak. It's truly one of my special films, if you will, because it takes me back a lot to my own childhood and the way I looked at the world. I think I always wanted to do something with storytelling. I think that's where my true joy comes from. And even as a child, I devoured books, I watched a lot of films. I love to listen to people tell me stories like my grandma used to all the time. So these things always, I think, influenced me at some level, and I wanted to take this to the next level. But then again, you fall into the normal routine of life, and I was good at math, so automatically I became an engineer growing up in middle class India. And it wasn't much later that I actually got to ask myself the true question of what it is I wanted to do. And I think the answer was very clear. It was to tell stories. But now, storytelling has many formats. Some people choose to write books, some people get on TV, and some people make films. And in my case, there was no other medium that truly thrilled me, influenced me, pushed me, motivated me than films. And when I finally got the chance to throw away my past life, which was that of an engineer, and delve into this, I think that's truly when I became a well rounded, complete human being. Because honestly, in life, there is truly no greater joy than doing what you truly love. And I think I'm blessed that I get to tell all these great stories and at the same time get paid for it, which is not a bad thing, but truly live my dream every day of my life. I think for all of you, you need to figure out what it is that you enjoy doing and then pursue it to its very end. I had made a film called Lakshmi, and it was a fairly difficult film to make because it dealt with child trafficking, and I was in a dark place, obviously, to tell that story. And right after that, I wanted to do something bright and sunny and something that believed in the goodness of human beings as opposed to only seeing their worst side. And I chose the story of Dhanak. And one of the sort of goals I set for myself was to give the film this kind of magical feel to it. Obviously, when you look at the world through a child's eyes, before it's tainted, there is a great degree of positivity, there's a great degree of hope, trust, and I wanted to echo all these elements in the film. But more importantly, I wanted to always question this one particular thing. Is there magic, or isn't there any magic in our day-to-day lives? And I really think it's the way you look at it. A simple thing, like pulling a coin from behind your ear, can be really magical to a child. And this is something that constantly we explore throughout the film. And yes, I like happy endings. So you want to begin with once upon a time, and you want to end with and they all lived happily ever after. So a fairy tale was very important for them. I think there are several ways to look at the world. You've heard of all the cliches of the glass being half full or half empty. And I think for the most part in my life, as much as I'd like to call myself a sort of real cynic, to look at the world with a little bit of skepticism, I think when I write my scripts, there is a great deal of optimism, and as a reflex, I tend to look at the goodness in human beings as opposed to their bad side. And I think this is clearly a running theme through all my films. And with a film like Dhana, it was very easy to, push in a lot of this sort of goodness for the simple reason that at the core there were these two wonderful children, and it wasn't much of a task for me. Rajasthan is one of my absolutely favorite places to make a film. I'd already shot two films there in the past, and when I was writing the story of Dhanak, it truly came to life when I set the backdrop as Rajasthan. And if anyone has visited Rajasthan, it's one of the most colorful places. So I didn't have to extend myself in trying to develop this color palette, because set against these really golden sands are all these people with these vibrant costumes. And interestingly enough, uh, all the color is what the women bring to the table, whereas the men, other than colorful turbans, have these boring whites or pale yellows. So I stuck a little true to the background, and that's why Danak's story is told with so much color against this backdrop. One of the proudest moments with Dhanak was the fact that this film won the Grand Prix at the Berlin Film Festival. Was one of my highlights. But what was incredible with the Berlin Film Festival is that they bring school children from all over Germany to watch films. And when I asked the programmer why it was so, she said that films are a great form of education for the kids. So they take a lot of care to program films from all over the world, so the children get a peek, a first-hand peek into the culture, into the geography, into customs, into everything via films. Unfortunately, in India, most of our films are predominantly commercial, and the children are taught at a very early age that films are bad. While this is clearly not true, films can be a great art form and a great way to educate kids. The only thing is, one has to have proper children film festivals, hopefully, like this one, where you go out and you seek all this richness that's available in so many different countries and then showcase them to your kids. I hope you guys continue to do this festival for a very, very long time. All the very best.